Poisonrana.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana Live. You found us in whatever podcast app you're choosing to use, and it's Sunday, December 14th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which means...
we are live on youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
Hello, all the friends, all the frogs, members of the C Nation, whoever you are, welcome. You could be anywhere. We appreciate you. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to talk about some wrestling. Maybe one of the biggest shows of the year. Biggest shows ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if we've got the arena gate yet, but could possibly be the biggest arena gate in history.
Wow. That's right. Do you feel old yet? John Cena has retired. John Cena has retired from wrestling. Crazy. End of an era. End of an era.
He gave up.
He did. Kids give up. Yeah. Honestly, like sometimes you got to give up. John Cena lied to us all these years. All the merch saying never give up. And then he
burn it now.
Yeah, he just did
for nothing.
I need a shirt that just is like the John Cena shirts, but it does just say give up. Like rise above hate, not just hate. Give up. Well, we haven't given up yet, so we are here for you. But yeah, pour one out for John Cena. Pour some Guinness out for John Cena retiring. Wow.
Or Guinness, or what else does he drink? Flat whites. He loves his flat whites.
His coffee,
yeah. In what, like a mason jar? He likes them in.
Oh,
well, that's what he was drinking out of on Pat McAfee's show.
Right.
Pat's like, I just have a takeout cup. Like, what is this?
Like a normal person. Yeah.
Yeah. There's that whole video. Did you send it to me about him going over flat whites and how he can tell if it's a good coffee shop and how they make the flat white? Yeah, he is. Yes. I'm not surprised.
Like, it's weird because this watching so much John Cena content in the last like week, especially seeing stuff on social media, and this video went viral of him in like 02 or 03 maybe with them overseas in Ireland, and he's at a bar with Finley, and Finley introduces him to Guinness and he hates it and orders a chocolate milk instead. And then fast forward all these years, he loves Guinness. He says that he talks about perfect pours and all that stuff. So it's just funny that he is on record saying this is awful, and then fast forward 20 something years, he's like, this is the only thing I drink.
I think it's an acquired taste, Guinness. Yeah. And I think at first it's something you haven't really tasted anything like before. And I think quite often when you have that taste, your instant reaction is, oh, I don't like this. And then you think about it and you're like, oh, actually, maybe I do. We find that with Fernet Branca. Whenever we give someone a shot of Fernet and they're like, oh, what is this? And we go, at first, you're going to hate this. You're going to think you don't like it. But breathe out afterwards and let it like linger, the taste. And then you'll go, actually, you know what? That wasn't too bad. So yeah, big Guinness fan is Cena. But I do think, I personally believe the perfect pour is a complete myth.
I think, is that what he said too? I think that's what he said. I forget now.
It's a marketing campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if the, you know, the lines are clean, the kegs are the right temperature, you're not at the bottom of the keg or the top of the keg, like you poured through quite a few, you can pour a pint of Guinness right to the top and it'll settle perfectly and everyone will go, oh, that's perfect pour. The 3-stage thing, as a bartender, complete fucking waste of time. And it's a great marketing trick Guinness did.
Fair enough.
But yes, and I apologize if I'm upsetting any Irish people, but you're wrong.
Well, John Cena, pour some Guinness out. I can't believe it. It's happened. It's over. What do we do now?
Well, it's not over for us because we're still going to be talking a whole lot of John Cena over the next few months. We do have a Patreon here at Poisonrana. If you haven't subscribed, it's only $5. Give yourself a Christmas present. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. And we have been making our way through the career and the title wins of John Cena. We've even released a few of these shows for free on this very free feed. So go back. You can use that search function and search for The Champ Is Here. I believe we put up episode 1, episode 10, episode 13.
There's a few up there on the free one.
With Benno and Hamflet, we threw up for free. The one with Jason Solomon is up there for free. We've got quite a few up there. So probably about 5 that you can go and listen to. And I say sample. These are like 3-hour shows, but very enjoyable. And we just released a brand new one on our Patreon. The Champ Is Here, part 13B.
Absolutely. Yes. We put out a lot of free ones, but we've recently dropped episode 13B, as we call it, a B plus, if you will. John Cena defeats The Rock at WrestleMania 29 and then has a run with the WWE title. We talk about rivalry and matches with the Ryback. Feed me more. Oh boy, way too much Ryback. And then the salmon suit Mark Henry plus Daniel Bryan, the SummerSlam match and storyline. Yeah. So
the silver lining at the end of this run.
Yeah, we went through a lot of bad stuff to get to the epic SummerSlam feud there. So our friend from A+, Boris, joined us to talk all about John Cena in a lengthy podcast. So if you're still in the Cena spirit, check out The Champ Is Here. It's a podcast series covering all the John Cena you need to hear. But you also get access to all the other shows, movie reviews, and so much more, including some of our Christmas stuff. Tomorrow, we are finally recording Home Alone 3. John Pollock is joining us. So tons of stuff over on the Patreon. It is only $5. You want to buy us a Guinness for Christmas? Buy yourself a podcast. It's only $5. You get access to hundreds of shows, and it supports us. We are 2 independent creators and appreciate all the love and support out there. And hey, if you're like, guys, it's tough, the holidays, I can't do it, totally understand. That's why a subscribe, a click, a like does far more than you think.
5-star
nice review on Apple
nice
or Spotify, whatever. It goes a long way. So appreciate everyone out there in the community. Got a shout out. We got kind of drunk on Wednesday, you and I, like old times, and we ended up at our favorite haunts in the city, and we went up and did Hero, Chad Kroger, Josie Scott, Spider-Man soundtrack. And afterwards, someone came up to us and went, "Hey, are you the podcast guys? I love you guys." I think his name was Ryan. So shout out Ryan, who was like, "Hey, I love you guys. I thought it was you." And we were like, "Oh, appreciate you."
And shout out the bartender at Handlebar, John, who said he's been working his way through our John Cena show. And he's said he's thoroughly enjoying it. So
shout out, John.
That was awesome to hear. But yeah, we have loads to check out on the Patreon. We do a retro show, NXT show called Was Next. We recently talked about the in-ring debut of Becky Lynch in the June 26th, 2014 edition of NXT. We also have a bunch of movies up there. We recently did GoldenEye for the 30th anniversary of the film GoldenEye. We have a show called Up Yours where we go over to our top patrons to pick something for us to review. And we just had Rob McDonald pick The Flash as we're continuing our way through all the Batman films. And Jesse from the Six to tie in with last month's Blood and Guts and Survivor Series. We looked at Fall Brawl 93, featuring the debut of the Shockmaster.
Yes, War Games. So tons of podcasts. Like we said, $5 to become a friend. You get access to everything. And buy yourself a little holiday gift, some holiday cheer. You need to get away from the in-laws these holidays. We got you. We'll be in your ears, comforting you, talking about wrestling and silly things, GoldenEye, whatever it is. We got you, fam. We got you. All right.
Next week as well, it'll be a bit of a different edition of Poisonrana. We'll talk a little bit about the stuff that's been going on in the week, i.e. the Continental Classic that's been going on. But mainly this is going to be our Christmas party, our little house party we do. And we've got a lot in store for you guys. We're going to open up the line so anyone can hop on and hang out, or open up the door, shall we say, for our party. We're going to be playing a bunch of party games, including our favorite we do this time of year, Party Quirks, where we'll all be playing wrestlers in certain situations, and one of our guests will have to work out who everyone is. And the BDE Championship is going to be on the line in a game of trivia, and you're all invited.
Yes, we've done these Christmas streams the last few years. You can check it out here on the YouTube. We've had a lot of fun, a lot of guests, but if you're listening, you are invited. We want everyone to hang out with us next Sunday. I know you put up some polls. You put up 2, and they have 2 different winners in the poll.
Really, they look the same when I last looked.
Oh, one said 2 and one said 3. So I guess we could do 3, or does 230 make it in the middle?
Let's have a little look. Yeah, we want to get as many of you on here as possible. So we're trying to accommodate across the pond and stuff. Yes, so we've got you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use our old friend AI to work out over these 2 polls what is the clear winner, and I'll get back to you. But I think it's going to be about 3 p.m. that we're doing.
Let's say 3 p.m. next week. Yeah.
Yes.
Like we'll start off maybe just hanging out and talking, the 2 of us, and then we'll have some friends join us during the stream. And then maybe like an hour or so into that stream, plus whether we play Party Quirks or start some of your trivia, we're not quite sure, but come hang out starting 3 p.m. Eastern time. So work that out wherever you are in the world. UK listeners, we want to try to get you guys here too. So that's why we're trying to accommodate North American listeners, depending where you are. Maybe you're watching the football or whatever, but hang out, have the stream on. We want to just talk and, I don't know, have a little Christmas party. It's the Poisonrana Christmas party, and you're all invited.
It's super casual. You can have the TV on. You can be watching your team losing whilst talking to us and playing games and drinking eggnog.
So definitely looking forward to that. We'll be putting out the links and stuff. And again, we want to see all of you. And there's a chance you could walk out BDE champion, because Fire Frank, whether he likes it or not, will be defending the BDE championship. Could the streak end? Davie's going to be putting people to the test of trivia, of wrestling of the year 2025, plus some pop culture of the year 2025, and trivia about Poisonrana.
Hey, if you want a chance of winning, you gotta subscribe to our Patreon and use that two times speed to work your way through all these shows for this year.
So you said I can play though, and there's going to be trivia on myself.
Braden, like, you don't remember things I tell you like an hour ago, so I don't think you're going to have an advantage.
No, I'm going to have an advantage. I'm going to win back the BD title.
Shows,
rightfully mine. This title is coming back home, but definitely looking forward to this. We're going to have some holiday cheer and some eggnog and what have you. So hang out with us. We'll probably go for a few hours. So, hey, if it's 3 o'clock is like, I got this going on, we'll probably still be going by 5 or 6.
And pop in whenever you can. We will be putting the audio up, and the video will be up on our YouTube. So you can come in, pop in and out as you please.
Yeah, like feel free to check the replay. Obviously, that will be up afterwards, but it is interactive. So we would love to see you in here, and bring some party favors and what have you. Bring some holiday cheer. Be really festive, and I can't wait to see you. So that will be next week at this time. So right here on our Poisonrana YouTube, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We've made it official, the Christmas party, and we'd love to see you there. So very excited about that. But the shows never stop. Like you said, we have our Patreon. We will. You have an up next this Tuesday. I know that, but we have our Home Alone 3 review, and then we got our Bills touchdown love story Hallmark movie review coming out. That's going to be very exciting. Don't know what we're getting into with that one, and a whole lot more. So we're keeping it really festive here. And then I know NXT has a few taped shows coming up, so we'll probably be able to do some quick Tuesday night reviews closer to the holidays. So however your holidays are going, hopefully they go swimmingly.
Want to shout out our friends at Demand Lucha.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be working.
Me too. I'm so bummed.
So pretty gutted, because we love putting on our ugly Christmas sweaters and going to Demand Lucha. But they're going to be having 2 shows going on, December 17th in Oshawa.
In the Schwa.
And December 18th in Toronto at Parkdale Hall. Having, who we got here? We've got Jack Cartwheel's going to be on the show. Gringo Loco, Arez,
Beast Mortos.
Janela. Yeah.
Beast Mortos. I'm so bummed I'm not seeing this. But if you have never been to Demand Lucha and you are in this Toronto area, we just love these shows. So much fun. They're just a party, lucha party downtown Toronto in Parkdale, and this one's Christmas themed, so it's so much fun. And yeah, Demand Lucha, check them out on socials if you haven't already. But we love support indie wrestling. Do what WWE ID's social media accounts tell you to do, and support indie wrestling. Did you see that? WWE posting support indie wrestling is just ironic, if that's the right use. But yes, support local indie wrestling, and no matter where you are. But if you are in the Toronto area, Demand Lucha is definitely where it's at. Can't wait to see what they got in the year 2026. So looking forward to that. But yeah, shout out Demand Lucha. We love those guys. Like, it's crazy. We've watched people in the last 3 years come through Demand Lucha and look at the stars that like come out of that. We watched guys wrestle on those shows, and then months later they're on TV stealing the show, like Speedball Mike Bayley.
Oh yeah,
he was a Demand regular, Toronto, Ontario's indie scene for sure, regular, and now finally seeing him having this little bit of a coming out party is awesome to see, and everything. So support your indies, because eventually they'll become big superstars like the ones you see on TV.
Absolutely. And you only need to pay $30 or whatever to see them, rather than
200,000.
Yes.
30,000. Oh yes, WrestleMania. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Well, shall we get into a little bit of Saturday night's main event?
Yes. Are you ready to give up?
Yes.
We've watched so much John Cena in the last few months. We've mentioned the Champ is Here series, like hours long. When we do these shows, we go hours. We talk about like weeks and months of content and rivalries and everything. So we're pretty up to date with John Cena stuff. And I want to say, before Saturday night's main event, last week, the story about John Cena's, I saw WrestleNomics posting and Sports Illustrated, I think, about the John Cena theme song. Remember, I brought this up last week, where the John Cena theme song, all of a sudden there's something going on with the samples and all that kind of stuff. And I've never noticed this before, but I looked up the sample of what they use, and the song is called "The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia," right? And it's a Reba, it's a song, and then Reba famously did the version of it, and then another band, a Canadian band, did their version, and that's what is sampled in John Cena's theme song. Okay.
Yeah.
I love the website called Who Sampled. Any hip hop head would know it's a great website. I just happened to look at Pete Schofield and the Canadians is the band name, right? The artwork is the band in front of Palace Royale Ballroom, downtown Toronto. And I only realized that now. And I went, that's interesting. So this band is from Toronto. So I Google Paul Schofield and the Canadians from my neighborhood of Don Mills, Ontario, from down the street where I literally grew up.
Amazing.
Pete Schofield and the Canadians. And somehow that song is John Cena's sample.
And that's weird? It's the daughter of what's his name?
Guess Pete Schofield.
Schofield, who is suing.
I just was like, wait a second, I recognize that club. Recently, our friends have fought there. They do like concerts and stuff. And then I quickly Googled who that guy was, and it's like, yeah, he's from Don Mills. I'm like, oh my God. So shout out Don Mills. Don Mills fires all the way, baby. But anyways, thought I would share that.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to start with the Cena match, or and then talk about the rest of SNME, or go in order? What do you think?
We could go in order, I guess.
Sure.
I mean, that makes more sense. We can do that. We could do that. We had where do we even begin? There has just so many video packages through the week, and then starts off with Stephanie McMahon as well, on the not on the call, but like with Joe at the
Oakland position.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. What we know about Stephanie McMahon and John Cena rapping on the back of the bus. Who knows? Would we have ever had John Cena if it wasn't for Stephanie kind of intervening there? You know, it's crazy to think about it, but yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool having her on the show and stuff. You know, Stephanie likes to get involved in stuff throughout the years, but I think it was kind of warranted and fair. We couldn't have Vince there, right? So we got Steph.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice opening the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she is key to like as you said, who knows if he never did that rap on the bus, would this have ever happened?
Would we have ever seen John Cena or not seen John Cena, I guess. But yeah, kind of interesting how things work out. But then we started the show with our first match, which is you know, according to some people, John Cena was opening the show. And for some reason that became this thing this week. Maybe that was just PR to get more interest in people talking, but kind of weird that you had multiple people reporting that John Cena was going to open the show.
I think people just need to learn to listen. And because he's like, everyone's jumping on that Kimmel interview going like, oh, he said he's opening. He said he's opening. He didn't. And I've rewatched this clip and posted this clip quite a few times. He goes, you know, I like to start things early. I like to leave, have my shower, have an early night. I'm getting old. And Kimmel goes, oh, so you're going to be doing your match and then going home? And he goes, no, I think I'm going to be ending this one. I'm going to be going on last. And for some reason, everyone heard I'm opening this show. And it was then reported and it's now being disputed. Like, no, Cena was never going to open this show.
Why would they not end the show with John?
Absolutely. and I don't think, and people going, oh, well, Cena wants to give the attention to the new guys.
Yeah.
You would take away the attention from the new guys because especially with this finish, who's going to care about Leon Slater and Javon Evans, as great as they are, when you've just seen John Cena tap out? Like, I was there at WrestleMania 30 when the streak got broken and those poor women had to follow that match and no one wanted to watch that.
Similar
because
vibes,
everyone was like, what the fuck? And even the main event of that show, as hot as Daniel Bryan was in 2014, even the main event of that show took a while for people to get into because they were so deflated. So I just think, people need to open their ears more.
I mean, when you had, whether it's like, you know, Observer just saying like, hey, this is potentially what's happening. I think that's when definitely people were like, okay, wait, what? Why would they do that though? And glad they didn't do that because like, why? This whole show was based around John Cena. But we did have other matches, so we'll go through that before we get to John Cena's retirement match. Loved the countdown they gave John Cena on this show. Hey, 3 more matches till John Cena retires. It's like, oh shit. So we started things off with a champion versus champion. We love NXT. We cover it every week here at Post Wrestling, and the NXT champion Oba Femi taking on WWE champion Cody Rhodes. And I mean, we say it week by week for the last like what seems like 2 years, but once the mainstream people of wrestling fans see the Oba Femi walk, that thing's going to be everywhere. And it already is. I'm walking around the house today like I'm Oba Femi. I'm going into I came home lit last night, going into the fridge like Oba Femi. Oh, what do we got in here? I'm just like, oh, like everyone's now going to be doing the Oba Femi walk, and I do love to see it.
Man, I think he's had a great showing this week from his debut on SmackDown, confronting Cody Rhodes. There's something about him. This walk is so ridiculous. It's very like the Matt Riddle walk, which Matt Riddle was such a goofball character. But I think Oba Femi, because he looks so intimidating and he's got this aura about him, he can get away with doing this goofy walk and it being cool, because who is going to tell this guy, man, your walk's kind of weird? Like, so it works for him. And I think it's great. I think he came out, there was a portion of the crowd who knew who he was. They were doing the who and all that. Looked great in his shirt. And I thought his promo was awesome. I think this character he has and his delivery, it's so unique. It sets him apart from everyone else on all 3 brands in WWE. And I thought he held his own and looked great against Cody on SmackDown. And I thought he carried kind of that aura and presence through to this match.
Yeah, I mean, the show is weird in a few ways to me, because I don't know, if I was booking John Cena's last match, there was 19,000 people. That's a lot of people. I still think a stadium or its own pay-per-view or a WrestleMania or I don't know. But this felt like a bit of an exhibition style show. Like you had NXT versus main roster in like what felt like exhibition, almost house show kind of vibes. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to like, I liked these matches, but I felt like they were just there. They were serviceable, and you got characters over to maybe new audiences, kind of showing you like, hey, Oba could be the future. Hey, Sol Ruca could be a big star, and I think they will be. Same with Javon, Leon, and stuff. So I think they succeeded in what they did with the rest of the card of like, hey, look what's to come in the future, in the spirit of John Cena, you know, ruthless aggression and all that kind of stuff.
I loved it. Like I call these kind of things a bit of a Trojan horse. You know, everyone comes to watch John Cena, and you come away going, "Wow, Sol Ruca's fantastic." If you've never seen her before, so I like this. I think they should. I think actually, especially for these Saturday night main events, I think you should do more of this because I thought the people they picked to come up were the right picks. It's priming your audience a bit who maybe don't watch NXT to get ready for these people because you're going to be seeing them. Like I see all these people within the next year being called up. So it's getting you ready for them. And I liked it. And I personally would take this over just some other random matches. Look, the main roster are already building up that January 5th show. They're building up the Rumble and all that. They've got plenty of shows. I think using a Saturday night's main event like this was very effective.
I loved Oba throwing around Cody Rhodes, seeing the visual there was like cool. Like, wow, this is a match you could see down the line. A WrestleMania match, perhaps one day with Cody versus Oba. Oba throwing Cody across the like commentator desk, and then Cody just emerges with, I don't know if it was a bloody ear, but then it led to what looked like a bloody mouth, almost like a Joker smile from Cody Rhodes. I don't know if it was his ear that just like put the blood across his face.
It's like he ripped his ear, and I think the blood just smeared across. But
like I know,
but it even looked like his face. I don't know if it was just like shadowing from the blood or something, but his face kind of looked distorted.
It was like, why so serious with the Joker thing? But you know, they were in DC, and maybe he'll show up on SmackDown and his ear will be absolutely fine. So that's probably what will happen. But it looked violent, and then the finish, I think we called, but anyone could have called. It's like, why would you book Cody versus Oba? Because who would you book to lose in this situation? And they also knew that. And that's where Drew McIntyre comes out to beat up Cody Rhodes, giving him the DQ win. He attacks Cody. Oba then attacks Drew and puts Drew on his ass here. So we got the respect angle from Cody Rhodes, giving him the rub here from champ to champ. So it makes sense, but like, why would you book it in the first place? But it made sense.
I thought so I was watching this at work. So we put the event on at work, but Leafs were playing as well. So the first 3 matches I watched with no sound. And then the last match, obviously the Cena match, watched with sound. But I found it quite an interesting experiment because you're watching in a different way. Like noise adds so much to these matches, but also I'm watching it with people who don't know who any of these people are, which is a great bit of market research in a way, because they're all asking who Cody Rhodes is. He's your undisputed WWE champion. He's your 1A in the company at the moment. And they're like, who's this bloke? But they're looking at Oba and they're like, who's this bloke? This guy looks impressive. This guy looks good. And I thought they booked it quite well with showing him like throwing around Cody and just manhandling him. I would have liked them to have gone a step further. I think the Drew interference protects Cody, but I would have preferred, you know, maybe Oba has tweaked his ankle and the ref's checking on him, and Drew just runs in, claymores Cody, and leaves. Oba's not aware of it, fall from grace, and Oba gets the win. You're protecting Cody, and you're putting this huge win for Oba and establishing him. But you also have once Oba as a babyface sees this, he's pissed off. He can still be pissed off at Drew. You set up a match with him. You set up a rematch with Cody down the line. But I found the non-finish a little too much of a cop-out for me. I think you could have achieved the same thing and gone a step further with it.
like it's totally what we saw coming because you booked this match of champion v champion. Someone's got to lose, and yeah, you just kind of knew that's where they would go. So I don't know. The match was fine. You got a little snapshot of like, again, if you were the first time seeing Femi from the walk, the aura to some of his big power moves, you're like, okay, I could kind of get behind this guy. So him shoving Drew got a big reaction, and then also the choke slam and stuff. So Drew is really selling for him,
and Drew is huge. So
yeah,
again,
Drew's bigger than him.
Impressive.
I think that's a feud you could go to. I do see Femi showing up in the Royal Rumble. You could easily have a Drew and Oba face to face again in the Rumble, and then maybe that is somehow connects into how you bring Oba into the main roster.
I like that a lot. I think back to when Goldberg came back and squashed Lesnar, and then they had the moment in the Rumble and Goldberg just eliminates Lesnar again like it's nothing. I think you could do that. You could have Oba and Drew, and Oba just like throws him out immediately, and that continues that feud.
Yeah.
Even Drew coming into NXT to cost Oba the title in a title match or something like that. I think Drew would be a great first opponent for Oba, especially to show off Oba's strength. The problem is Drew has been going through this thing where he's losing his feuds, and I think Drew's great, and it's a shame he's in that position, but I do see that being a good direction if you bring Femi up.
It's a way to bring that in. I mean, we didn't expect him to win back the NXT title, but I mean, he could lose it early 2026 and then go into a program. As long as you have stuff for him, like creative, then like, yeah, absolutely bring him in. But I thought he looked good. The match itself, it had some cool spots back and forth. The Cody cutter was cool, and the back and forth and stuff, but it was only a little like, teaser really of what we could get from these two down the line and everything. So cool that we got the respect angle of Cody and the future and NXT champion. We had many celebrity videos sent into the show, including, all these football players, Eli Manning, Tom Brady,
Peyton Manning.
Who did I say?
I think both Mannings.
Both, right?
There,
yeah. Snoop Dogg, who said, I'm going to smoke one for you, John Cena. RVD, who definitely smoked one, who was there later for the match. He was definitely smoking one for John Cena. So there was lots of like videos that they sprinkled out through the show. And I liked that, like showing that a lot of people like love this guy essentially. But I felt like a lot of people were missing from this show. Like Randy Orton, nowhere to be seen. Not even in a lot of videos either.
So Randy's in Saudi Arabia doing promotional stuff for the company right now. But I was surprised he wasn't in, the video they had with everyone holding up the signs.
Yeah.
Like even Brock and Roman did something in that. And no Randy.
No Edge either, but obviously Triple H is bitter.
But again, like having this on in the bar, you've got a whole lot of people, the people that are pretending that they're not wrestling fans, the people that are very like, I am a wrestling fan, people that, what is this fake shit? And then other people, which I heard being like, oh yeah, I used to watch this when GSP was on top. Like, just clueless people, like not knowing what they're watching. But these videos were effective. And I wonder how many people tuned in because, oh man, John Cena's retirement thing. Showing these celebrities and WWE like jerking off their celebrities and showing off all these celebrities they have. But it does make John Cena seem like a bigger deal. The way he's transcended the company, that you've got like Hollywood actors and late night hosts and like sports stars and all that saying their farewell. Like I would hear people at the bar being like, oh, I guess this guy's a pretty big deal,
This John Cena. Yeah, you had the Punisher front row supporting Peacemaker. It's pretty funny. The next match, Sol Ruca taking on Bayley. This is a bit of a cool one here. We're big fans of Sol Ruca on NXT. We had a bit of back and forth. And of course, if this was the first time anyone saw the Soul Snatcher, you'd be like, what was that? So I think pretty cool that Sol pinned Bayley here. Kind of showing like, hey, this is the future here. There was some good back and forth. There's like almost like the Rey Mysterio moonsault DDT from Sol Ruca as well at one point was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was the Jake Atlas. Like
DDT,
right?
What did he call it? The Rainbow DDT?
Rainbow. I don't know if he called it that or we called it that. I can't remember, but fuck that guy.
No, he did call it that. I'm pretty sure he wanted to call it the Stonewall DDT.
Right.
And they were like, all right, dude, like, calm down. But yeah, I thought this is a really great moment for Sol Ruca. We didn't get the Zarya split. We said, like, as much as this is the biggest place to do it, these people may not be familiar with them. It wouldn't have made sense. You know?
I think it would have been a wet fart and really confusing to people. I think you've done the animosity between the two. They've now made up. They're best friends again, which makes the break even more surprising. I think we need to see them really getting along.
Yeah.
And it just bubbling under the surface before the eventual breakup. And this crowd just wouldn't have reacted. They don't know who Zari. They might know Sol because she's been on TV a couple of times, but they don't really know who Zarya is. I think this was the right move. I thought they both worked really well together here, and Bayley just being completely selfless, and you can see the stuff she's doing. She seems to be gearing up for that trainer role down the line. And yeah, I thought the sequence for the finish was great. And again, what I found interesting was there were girls actually at the bar who just loved Sol Ruca. They were like, wow, like they weren't wrestling fans at all, but they were seeing all the stuff Sol was doing and just thought she was awesome. And I thought she came across so well here. I think, watching SmackDown on Friday, as good as the like women's division across the whole company is right now, the SmackDown brand is lacking. And I think needs a Sol Ruca, needs a Jordynne Grace on their way up to really like boost that SmackDown women's division. And yeah, I think you can't sit on this girl in NXT too much longer because she's got so much to show.
Yeah, I feel like she's someone who could put some exciting matches on TV and like gain popularity very, very quickly as well. Like, okay, the Soul Snatcher move is cool, but like it's everything else that she does that.
Oh yeah,
like she's really impressive.
The walking on her hands before like the Rana and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff,
and it's stuff we've seen men do before, but we really haven't seen a woman do a lot of this stuff. In WWE. So I think she's going to be great.
She's going to be a big star. Bayley is interesting. It's like she's done that training camp we saw last week with John Cena and stuff, and I think that's so awesome. Like giving back to her wrestling community in the future and stuff. Like I wonder if we get an AEW run from her. Like would she leave? Would she want to try to do some other stuff before like a trainer role?
I mean, she doesn't like. She's got no qualms about going backstage to AEW shows and supporting Statlander and obviously Mercedes and all that sort of stuff, which I think is fine. I think people read into all that stuff too much. You should support your friends, support wrestling. Like, like people go and watch, people who play sport, go and watch other sport. It's fine. People who are in movies, watch other movies. It is fine. But I see two routes for her. It definitely seems like she's like preparing herself maybe for a bit of a trainer's role and like could see her down in NXT working with those women there. And maybe down the line, that's something she'd want to do. But I mean, she can still go. She's got plenty of career left in her. And I think a couple year run in AEW would be really interesting. And hopefully it can be on good terms and that trainer position or producer position or whatever is still open for Pam and she can go back. But it is something I'm interested in. I think there is like to see one more Bayley Sasha match would be pretty cool. And I think there's a whole lot of women there where she'd want to work with. I think she'd want to work with your Statlanders and your Jamie Hayters and the likes down there.
Pam is all elite.
Just Pam, capital letters, Pam.
Her name before was Davina Rose, right? Like Bayley was her WWE name. But
okay.
I don't know. Like I think she should be a trainer. Showing that thing last week as like a wrestling fan, you love to see that. Like, wow, she fronted money up. She helped these people, like all these up and coming wrestlers that we don't know yet. And she is like hooking them up with John Cena, seminars with wrestlers. Like she's doing good for the wrestling community. And I don't necessarily want to see her just hang up and become a trainer. So why not do a few years, like, I don't know, AEW, independence, like do exactly what Sasha's doing and get to wrestle other people. And I think that's something she would do. And then, yeah, when you wind down, become a trainer, and she would be an excellent, already you can tell she's going to be someone who should be.
She seemed loved by everyone. I can't see her burning a bridge anywhere.
She's,
and I think if
yeah,
that's
she's an awesome
she'd
person.
want to do, and also kind of in a way sort of would help WWE. You've got all these women. Like there's, I could name you 5 women in NXT who should be on the main roster by now, but where is the space? Like you don't want these people to come up and just be in obscurity and floating around and being in catering. You want something for them. So in a way, Bayley being like, hey guys, can I take 3 years and I'll see you later? It kind of helps them, if anything.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun match. Good for Sol Ruca getting the shine there. I could definitely see her being a big star in the main roster as soon as she gets put on there. We had more videos. RVD, Kurt Angle, who's also in attendance, Becky Lynch, Undertaker, Mean Mark McCool, The Rock also sending in from his pool, being like, hey, John, love you. Did he have his notes on his wrist?
Yeah.
Didn't check for that one. But yeah, that's when it showed Kurt Angle walking, if you could call it that, backstage. That guy like hurt his body for our entertainment. And I will always give Kurt Angle his flowers. I'm not making fun of him. I just noticed that he walks not great. And it was like, damn, man, you really like killed your body for us. So
it makes me so sad. And it's more so his eyes. Whenever I look at him, like I know he's been clean for a long time, but you can see what the drugs has done to him because he just doesn't. Something's missing, right? He's not the sharp Kurt Angle like I remember from year 2000.
Then you had RVD looking more high than I was when I was watching this show last night. But we go to another match. I'm sure these two, they got really high in the match. Actually, all 4 dudes get very extremely high because there's high flying in this one. Javon Evans and Leon Slater from TNA or NXT. Leon from TNA, the current X Division champion, taking on the first ever X Division champion of AJ Styles and his partner Dragon Lee in a tag team match here. And kind of the same thing with the last 2 matches. A great showcase right out the bat. Leon Slater's doing huge dives over the turnbuckle. Javon's doing crazy moonsaults. They're getting all their stuff in. For those people who have never seen these guys, would definitely know who these guys are after watching this match. It had that crazy Styles clash at the end. I'd say maybe in my own head, I hyped this up to be like, this is going to be an insane, match of the year qualifier. It was really, really good, but it still felt that exhibition kind of like, okay, you get your stuff in and then the real main roster stars finish the match. So I felt like I wish it went another like 5-10 minutes.
Oh yeah, like this only went
fun match.
I think I said on Tuesday, Javon might be one of the best people to put out there if you've only got a short amount of time. NXT still hasn't really gotten out the habit of not giving the main events enough time on CW. You don't have the overrun. And often we're looking and there's 8 minutes left of the show and the main events, like the bell is just ringing. And you go, fuck, you're doing this title match with 8 minutes. And Javon is the perfect person to put out there because he manages to fit in like 15 minutes of content in 8 minutes. And I'd say Leon Slater's the same. All these guys are. And this felt, I would absolutely have liked to see more of this. But it made it really exciting, I think, that they were doing so much in such a short space of time. I thought the dives to kick off the match was fantastic. I always loved that Leon Slater dive over the turnbuckle in the corner. You don't see it so much and just looked awesome. This match again, like woke up people at the bar who were like, whoa, who are these guys? And seeing them, yes, you can say, what is this fake shit as much as you want, but you see a guy run, leap over a turnbuckle and do a corkscrew con hilo to the floor. Like whether it fake hurts or not, it's impressive and it looks fucking cool. So I thought these guys were great. I certainly could have done with more a bit longer, especially with there not really being time restrictions on this show. Like I would have liked 5 more minutes, but hopefully we see something again down the line. Hopefully we see Leon and AJ in a singles match down the line, because I thought their stuff was pretty cool, and Leon teasing the Styles Clash and all that. Chris brings up the AJ slip on the rope, which, like, do you?
That's a work, brother.
Yeah, I was like, is this a Sabu? Is this a worked?
That's AJ's literally done that spot before, has he not? Didn't he turn that into a whole angle before? Pretty sure.
I think so, yeah. But I think it didn't really lead to like a finish or anything like that. So I question. I'm not sure if it was a botch or not.
I think it was done deliberately. I think the story is going to be that I got losing a step. Yeah, I'm losing it a little bit. But this match went 6 minutes 30 seconds.
Wow.
Again, it was a great snapshot if you've never seen these guys before, just of like all the action. And of course, AJ Styles, like if this is maybe his last year or so, it's cool to see him get some shine and stuff. But I was expecting at least 5 more minutes. Like there's 4 matches. All the matches, the first match was 9 minutes, the second match was 9 minutes, and this was like 6. It's like, man, could have used like 5 more minutes and really gotten into the net. I don't know. I was expecting the Swanton 450 into the Styles Clash. Maybe I've seen him do it.
I don't know how, but that would be cool.
Are you like, think back to the Phoenix Splash one?
Yeah, true.
It's possible.
Yeah,
it's doable. It's just like I was maybe expecting something crazy like that, and instead AJ slipped. But still really fun. But in my head, I was like, this is gonna be insane, and it was cool. But I was like, maybe just 5 more minutes, and I think that was the consensus. We had a little bit of a watch party ourselves, and all of us were like, we were waiting for that next kind of gear. But if I'm TNA, I don't know how, and I'm sure they could try to figure this out. If AJ Styles is down, the first TNA on AMC should be AJ versus Leon Slater 1-on-1. Like somehow, some way, we need to get that 1-on-1 match in 2026 with the history there. And if AJ is going to retire, then do one last thing with TNA, even though maybe
I feel we're more likely to see it in WWE.
Yeah,
and I can see WWE finding a way of getting Leon Slater out of whatever contract he's
Everybody's got a price. Yeah, they'll trade him for Chris Jericho.
They're
like, you can have Jericho's going to show up in the Rumble, but then you can have him, and then we'll take Leon Slater. So, yeah. Fun match. We had more videos of other people. Kane.
Yeah.
Got the governor. Love seeing that. What a guy.
Talking a load of crap, I imagine.
Is he a governor? No, he's not a governor. He's a mayor, right? Mayor of
Knox,
Shitsville or something.
County,
yeah. Then we had I got really excited because the Miz came out.
so this is where
6 minutes, but the Miz is gonna cut a promo. Okay.
We set up Leafs went 6-2 down. It was like, okay, time to flip the sound over. There was only about 4 minutes left of the game. Leafs are done. So we put the sound on because we think we're going to get like the hype package and then Gunther, Cena. And of course, I put the sound on for this fucking segment where
it was shit.
Yeah.
The Miz comes out. He's trying to relive his talking smack promo by like, I should be on this show because I beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Yeah, one of the worst WrestleMania main events ever. Yep. And then R-Truth comes out, Ron Cena, and then Joe Hendry. And like, bless him getting that WWE contract, but like the joke is kind of
you say that, but this crowd were loud for it. They were singing along, they popped. Like I'm with you because we see this guy every week, and it's one note, this gag, but the crowd reacted. The crowd were clearly there to have a good time. They wanted to have a good time. They were, even this Miz and Truth stuff, they were popping for it because they realized Cena's stuff's coming to an end, and this whole thing is a bit of a tribute. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm completely over this Joe Hendry thing.
Somewhere in the crowd, Robert Kennedy Jr. was like, "This is fucking hilarious. This is great." if that report is true. Someone said they saw him. No Trump, no Vince, but Wormhead was somewhere maybe there.
Or is he like, man, it's the Tylenol creating this shit?
Yeah, he's taking a closer look at what actually are the effects of Tylenol.
What did R-Truth's mother have while she was pregnant? Like,
no, he's thinking, what did all of these fucking people? If you like wrestling, your parents probably had a lot of Tylenol. This is what he was thinking. But so Joe Hendry gets his moment in. I guess it's fine. Like Miz, Truth, and Hendry. Cena maybe was involved with like, hey, get some screen time here, maybe. But a little, I could have done without it, but it's what it is. It's just funny because we were watching and they were promoting something, but you could see behind the shot of the ring, and it looked like it was Gunther walking around the ring. And it was like, wait, they didn't give Gunther an entrance? And then it zooms in and it's the Miz because he kind of wears that same like jacket.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's not
27.
Yeah, it's like,
right?
it's the Miz. It was like, oh fuck. So anyways, but then the main event, the last time is now. John Cena's last match ever. Gunther comes out looking like the real baddie. He showed up wearing all black earlier in the night because it's a funeral for John Cena. And then he's waiting in the ring. We get these big video here. What is it? What's the song they used? I'm blanking on it now, but they used like a song. It's lots of video clips of John Cena throughout the years. Very emotional. Lots of people talking about their love for John Cena, all these wrestlers. And then the music hits and out comes the man of the hour, John Cena. He grabs the camera from Stu. They completely botched the shot.
I think
Stu.
he called this on the fly because there was no cameraman ready to shoot John Cena holding this camera. You're just watching going, what's happened to the video camera here? Why is it all shaky? Oh, Cena's got it.
So Cena grabs it and then tries to get Stu, but they don't cut in time. And they cut to Stu when he gives it back to him. So it was kind of a weird thing. I was kind of underwhelmed with this entrance. I was maybe expecting, I don't know, basic Thugonomics to start, a different video package, or like something similar to his WrestleMania entrance with all the people dressed up as Cena. Like just anything. I felt like it was a little lackluster.
I know what you mean. I do think it was a shame how, and WWE rarely miss stuff, but you know, you had the like long walkway, which was all video screens.
Yeah.
And you see like flashing on the video screen, like the every single iteration of John Cena throughout the years, like rolling past. But on TV, you only really see it for a glimpse. And I think it would have been kind of like, I wanted a bit more of the, you know, the WrestleMania 28 entrance, you know, where you had the both had what MGK was Cena and Flo Rida was The Rock, but they had this video package for each of them. This is where I wanted, you know, seeing him holding the title up as a little boy and all that, and then leading into it. I know what you mean. I think they could have built it up a bit more, but it was enough just letting this crowd build. You know, the long silence between Gunther's entrance and this entrance with the crowd just losing their mind. But I know what you mean. I thought as well we might have had something a bit bigger.
I don't know. I was just expecting maybe something, and it was just pretty the basic John Cena entrance here. So he comes down to the ring, slides in. Of course, he goes to see ringside. We have some people sitting there. Trish Stratus, Eve Torres was there, Booker T, Elias sitting next to Kevin Owens.
Okay. Was Elias the Trey Baxter of this retirement?
Right. Like,
because you had all these people there, and then it's like, oh man, I got to say hello to Elias.
Right.
But he shared a WrestleMania moment with Cena.
Yeah, we were there, right? The basic Thugonomics one. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know who was the Trey Baxter? Haku. just cuts to all the Samoans like a football team just sitting there, and Haku is there just to make sure everything is okay. He's like, all right, I'm watching over you guys. I got you guys. I popped for Haku.
I'm ready to pull some eyes out.
Yeah, he's ready to murder someone if this didn't go down. So we have John Cena in the ring. And I also noticed he didn't throw his hat.
Oh,
Usually throws that hat into the crowd, but he didn't. He left it.
it's
threw
probably
it down.
This is going to be worth a lot of money, and I don't want to cause a riot.
He's probably going to give it to someone, or maybe he keeps it because he spent 20-something years throwing that hat away. Maybe he deserves to keep one of the hats.
Yeah,
from his last match. I noticed that, and then the match starts, and we have this crowd really awake for this John Cena retirement match. Let's go, Cena. Cena, and John Cena was like, what? Whoa, is this what it was supposed to sound like when a babyface is over with the crowd? Because instead of the let's go, Cena sucks, it was just everyone cheering. Finally, took 23 years where the WWE universe is finally behind John Cena in unison. I thought that was pretty funny, poetic here, that on his last match, finally, all right, we'll cheer for you, I guess. You can wrestle, I guess. We won't chant that at you, but very emotional for John Cena. You could tell he was like, whoa, okay, wow, I never heard this before. Thank you. Does his 5-knuckle shuffle early. Were you like, oh, is this the last time he does it? No. He'll make sure to tell you when the last time he does that move. But Michael Cole calling the STF the STFU. Thought that was also, I think he called the AA the FU as well at one point in this match. So I thought that was pretty fun. Super Cena chants as well from this crowd, finally admitting this here. We got the AA, the FU through the commentary desk. That was pretty epic. We got a Super AA as well, and Gunther kicked out. Thought that was pretty cool. Great spot. I mean, we've seen him beat multiple people with that.
Oh, yeah.
The sleeper hold spots where Gunther was teasing these tap outs or putting him to sleep multiple times. And then the crowd chanting, "Don't give up." Oh boy, would they live to eat those words in a few minutes. Another sleeper and Cena getting back and forth. I really got into some of the drama in this match, because it's like, I think by the end of this, anyone who was watching was cheering for, whether you liked John Cena or not. Yeah. I think we were all in unison of, he's got to win this match. He's winning this match. Cena hits another AA and another kick out. Think of all the people he's beaten with that move, and Gunther's kicking out of it again. And then the sleepers put in. He's getting out of it. He's doing his best Peacemaker acting chops.
He's teasing the whole, like, one last time with you can't see me. I think he did it 3 times in the match, and each time got louder and louder.
Yeah. So finally, don't give up chance. Gunther starts elbowing the shit out of his face and his head and puts the sleeper back in again. And we have John Cena smiling before he does the most nonchalant, blasé tap out ever. And finally, kids, John Cena gives up.
Yeah.
Wow. It's over.
I'm probably going to contradict myself a few times.
Sure.
When giving my thoughts on this, because I'm still trying to process it all. And I get why they did it. I get why they did the tap out completely. And I think we talked about this, like, oh, this is the story, and could they do that? And I could understand why they might make the decision to have Cena tap out in his final match. But as soon as it happened, my initial reaction was, that was the wrong thing to do. Like, right away, I was like, man, how deflating is this? But then I go, okay, like, what is the future? It's Gunther. And how many years have we been complaining about these part-timers coming back and not putting over the next generation? And this is putting over Gunther. And I don't think a pin would have had the same effect, because we've seen him lose to Brock. We've seen him lose to Dominic. We saw him lose a couple of years ago to Austin Theory. You know, he's been doing the job on his way out. But the streak he has is he's never given up, right? It's 20 years since he last tapped out or whatever. So that is a huge thing that you're giving Gunther. This is a huge elevation of his character. Gunther should be the undisputed WWE champion within the next year. This is Brock winning the streak, where beating the streak, when then he's got the rocket attached and he's the big ultimate bad. So I completely get it from that point of view. And I think maybe in 6 months' time, we'll all be going, wow, that was the best thing. And Gunther's awesome, right? Like this isn't some chump that we're not a fan of. Like this is Gunther. And who would have believed this when we were watching all those Walter matches, that they'd have gone this far with him? We were worried that he'd be coming out yodeling, wearing lederhosen and, just being a complete joke. And they've made him a complete top heel here with this. But you hear that crowd, you feel that reaction. We were there for Sting winning and how euphoric that felt. And the crowd just didn't want to see it. So I'm like, as I said, I'm going to be contradicting myself because I agree with both. I felt so deflated right at the end. But I completely understand. And I think it's a great thing for Gunther. However, they had Gunther debut this new submission against LA Knight. And it was almost sort of his STF, but, S grip across the face and just yanking back. It looked awesome. And that was what LA Knight tapped out to. I thought you should have been doing these consistent sleeper teases, and then Gunther pulls out his, super finisher, his ultimate submission. And that is the one that finally gets Cena to tap out. And I think that would have been maybe a bit more dramatic. And I think maybe in the build, we could have had, Cena in that Tom Rinaldi interview is like, I think he's asked whose approval does he look for, and he says, my wife. My wife is pretty much the only approval I look to. And I wonder if you could have sort of set it up a little bit where Cena's talking a bit more about wanting to protect my body for, moving on in life and being there for my wife and that kind of thing, which could have played into the part like, I'm done. I know this is my last match. I don't want to die. I'm tapping out. I'm done. So I think either way, like whatever you did, Cena losing, this crowd were going to react this way. And they love moments, and to them it's probably a success because look at all those shocked faces. It felt like the streak.
It felt like the streak. This is what I compare it to. Like I kind of feel the same way. In the moment, we're all cheering like he's got to do this, hit the AA and win this in the final match. Like Super Cena should win, and then it happens, and you're just genuinely shocked. But at the same time, I almost wasn't. It was like, oh, that's kind of a creative wave that the guy who never gives up. It's literally the catchphrase on all his T-shirts, telling us that, you know what, sometimes in life, it's okay to give up, and you have to know when to give up. And he did here. So I do feel two different ways about it. Like it reminded me of the streak. It cuts to people in the crowd with their hands in their faces, like shocked as if we all kind of were. It was a little poetic. I can see why people are mad because it's like, oh, why didn't Cena go? Like, oh, unfortunately, your favorite wrestler lost a match and it's his last match. So, hey, most people in WWE go out on their sword. They go out on their back. Look at all the people. Like Sting, the most selfless guy, not selfish, selfless. And that's why they were like, absolutely not, Sting. You're winning your fucking last match and that's final. Whereas this was, I don't know, maybe this was Cena's idea. Maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. I know why people are mad and I totally get it. Right away, they were chanting bullshit in this crowd after it was done, which was pretty funny. And then Cena was kind of like, oh, maybe they didn't necessarily like that as much. But it's totally the same vibe as The Undertaker losing the streak to Brock.
But they needed to like make Gunther's win feel bigger than the Dominic win and the Brock win. And therefore it had to be submission, I think. It's
just John Cena being like, I'm done with this. I'm over. I'm out.
Now, I thought the match was great. I thought they played with the expectations so well. It was a great sort of David versus Goliath where you had Super Cena chants, which I loved.
Yeah, it was all the hits.
Kickouts. Chris is saying, shout out to the 80s style, raise the arm three
Three
spot. They haven't
times. The
done that in
Hogan.
years.
Yeah.
That always gets a great. It's like a near fall, right? Then suddenly, but he doesn't do the rock, which is the but does the okay sign. I loved all that. I wish, we just did, and it's available on our Patreon. But I'll give a little spoiler. There's the promo going into SummerSlam 2013. Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and Daniel Bryan saying, "I'm wearing a T-shirt that parodies your T-shirt because I think you're a parody of pro wrestling." And I would have loved just one Raw or SmackDown where we had Gunther and Cena face to face, and Gunther could have really cut pretty much the same promo as Daniel Bryan did going into that SummerSlam. And I think we had Gunther doing it solo, saying, "I'm going to make you give up," and blah, blah, blah. But I think there would have been something quite special and made this feel even bigger if you had them face to face and drive home again. This is the wrestler who's going to put away the sports entertainer, because that's the line Michael Cole says on commentary, right? What pro wrestling destroyed sports entertainment tonight, or something along those lines. I think that would have been great and primed us even more maybe for this finish.
I like the match a lot. It had some great spots. The crowd really were part of it, like cheering for Cena finally getting his flowers, and people being behind him, the ultimate bad guy of Gunther. Like it was a lot of fun, like easily the match of this show. But like the story was really good, and I thought, like, I do feel two ways about it. I kind of like he should have just won, because he's won so many matches in his career. What would it is exactly like the streak. Like, hey, he is going away. We have to think of what happens next on the next show. And why not give Gunther this insane rub for the rest of his career? He not only retired Goldberg this year, which people will definitely forget about, but he's retired who they call the GOAT, John Cena. So it's an incredible thing to like give to this person. And we saw when Brock beat the streak, then they use that to then, have Roman beat him. So you're going to do the same thing with this.
There are now reports that obviously AJ Styles said 2026 will be his final year.
Yes.
Reports coming out now that 2026 could be Brock Lesnar's last year. Do you just have Gunther retire them all?
The Legend Killer, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why not? At this point, it could quietly become his thing. Like, I mean, not quietly now. He's beaten John Cena. So people who didn't know who this guy was know who he is now, because he's forever in the history books of the guy who retired John Cena. So crazy feat for Big Walt here, the Gunther. So really love the match. I got into it, and it is wrestling. I like when things like that happen. I mean, how shocked were you when the Undertaker lost? We were all shocked. So it's the same thing. I liked that as soon as he smiled, it reminded me of like a movie of when like someone's like, no. Clark Kent's dad in The Man of Steel, like, no. It has to be this way. And then taken away, right? Like it was cinema, I guess.
Well, I hate that word used in wrestling so much, because I always feel when people say that, they've never seen a good movie in their life. Movie? But I know, I completely know what you mean. Like, I want to feel something. And I think when we're doing our end of year awards, when we're talking about best match of the year, I think about the things that make me emotionally feel something, that I feel emotionally connected to.
Yeah.
And I'd say like one of the front runners for me this year is AJ Styles, John Cena.
Sure.
That just gets me all in the feels. And a reaction like this, whether you like the finish or didn't like the finish, it made everyone feel something. Everyone's either sad that John Cena lost his last match, or they're happy because we're going with the future with Gunther. But did they tell a story, and did it make you feel? And I think WWE recently have got confused what that means, and think just doing a shock moment makes people feel something. But we're people who, both of us in our fandom, have been like, fuck, can Super Cena just fuck off? And can he try and put someone over? And then we're going like, oh man, I'm really sad that John Cena put this guy over in his last match, you know, because it's a story of a 23-year career that led up to this moment. The streak, if Undertaker's record was 7-4 at WrestleMania and lost to Brock, it wouldn't have that moment. But it's a 22-year story you've been telling with The Undertaker that finally you have this payoff and it makes you feel something. It gets a reaction. And I think they achieved that. Now, we can criticize the whole run. I don't think the retirement run was booked well. I think there have been great moments during it, but I think in hindsight, there's a lot they could have done a whole lot better. They achieved good stuff with it as well.
They had some good stuff in it. Like, okay, I think having this, everyone just wanted that like happy ending. And I think the story is like, yo, this guy's mantra for years is never give up. And then he does. And I think maybe it puts people in the feels of like, it was all a ruse. It was all a lie. You carnies, you got us again. Like, but like I said, hey, the story is sometimes you do got to give it. All good things come to an end, even John Cena. So like, maybe it is more poetic than maybe all the people who are hating on this. Like, I do like the fact that it got people upset. It got a rise out of people. It got people feeling like Cena said, when people used to boo me or cheer me, at least they were reacting to me. At least, it was something. And I feel the same way here. In hindsight, did they stick the landing when it comes to the John Cena last time is now? I don't know. He says, hey, it's not fun to look back and think of the what have yous and the what nots. But like, okay, 19,000 people in an arena. That's a lot of people. DC did the bidding, so they got the show. Tanahashi's about to retire in front of 50,000+ people in a stadium. I would have loved to see John Cena retire in some sort of big stadium WrestleMania type fashion sort of show. But did they stick the landing of this whole tour? We heard in interviews he wanted to do all these dates, and Triple H was like, yeah, we'll give you like 30 or something like that. And it's like, oh, wait, you wanted to do more? You wanted to do all these other things and you didn't get there? That's weird and suspicious. Cena, being the company man that he is, wouldn't necessarily throw someone like Triple H under the bus. But we had this flight was a rocky one. We had some turbulence. We had the heel turn, which was like, oh my God, this flight is giving you free alcohol for the whole thing. And then quickly they were like, oh, actually the bar isn't stocked. And then you had turbulence. Then we had, oh wait, no, we're back on track. We have the SummerSlam rematch. Okay. Oh, Brock Lesnar. Oh shit. Okay. AJ Styles. Whoa. And retirement tour. We landed. We're okay. But when we look back next year, a year from now, 2 years, is this Triple H kind of like, man, remember when Vince fucked up the Invasion? It's like, this could have been the biggest storyline if you're saying this is the GOAT, you're telling me this is the GOAT. According to you, WWE, John Cena is the greatest of all time. Why did I feel like the retirement tour was just like, yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for your service. Peace out. I don't know. I feel like I wanted gold carpet rolled out. I wanted like the stadium in, I don't know, Boston. I don't know, MSG. I don't know. But like, if this is the GOAT, why is Sting's retirement still so much better than this?
Like, business metrics and all that are going to say this was a success. But
sure,
as a fan, I don't really care about how much money they're making.
Yeah.
I care about
how much
they're entertaining me and how good the storytelling is and how invested I am. And they definitely, it felt like they said about this show, the NXT stuff, it's non-canon. A lot of this Cena retirement tour felt non-canon.
Exhibition.
And yeah. I appreciate that they tried the heel turn. It was ill thought out. And
one of the best, biggest moments. Okay, we're selfish. We were there. And think about that. When it comes down to it, one of the biggest moments ever in WWE history, John Cena turns heel. Because we all were like, whoa, where is this going to go? This is crazy. He's never done this. And then it didn't work out. It sucked. But like, can't take away that they want to create moments. Triple H is all about the moments. You know what I mean? The moments. And dare I say, he fucking delivered a few. Because I thought the moment of Cena turning heel was a crazy moment. I also thought Cena smiling and tapping out and giving up was a moment. So, hey, if that's what they're doing, then they definitely served us that.
Now, I also think the title run, well, just the title win was anticlimactic because of the heel turn. Now, obviously, all of this is said with hindsight, but you had the story. You had the story that Cena hadn't won a televised match for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
He'd been coming back, putting people over, and that could have been the impetus to turn heel. Like he now feels he wants to be the greatest of all time. He wants to break that record, and he's turning heel. He should have then failed at WrestleMania and realized that's not who I am. That's not what I'm doing. And gone back and done the Super Cena thing. He could have won it from Cody at SummerSlam, and then had his announce as it is, as a babyface thing, the last real champion, whatever. And then not only losing to Gunther, but Gunther winning the title here.
True.
I think that moment of Cena winning his 17th title should have been huge. Yet we feel like it wasn't a reaction. Instead, it's like we had this fucking garbage match with Travis Scott being involved. And we're like, wow, I always thought Cena breaking Ric Flair's record would feel different to this.
That's what I mean.
We're talking about this all with hindsight, but Cena gave what we found out. When was Money in the Bank? June, July of 2024. You had all this time to plan this retirement tour.
You told them like 3 years ago
to plan, because he was
told in 2022, 2023. He said, right? Like crazy.
It was 2024. It was when he was it was Money in the Bank at Scotiabank. He said 2025 is my last.
But in some of these new interviews that have come out, he said he told them like,
I'm wanting to do this. I'm wanting to clear up my schedule.
So like what?
Yeah, you had 6 months essentially to plan for the Rumble onwards, to write a year's worth of story for John Cena, and they were booking it on the fly. You were booking dream rematches against AJ Styles over Twitter, and it just, I think hindsight's a great thing, but also my job is to critique this, and their job is to write this. And they get paid a lot more to write this than I get paid to critique this. And they didn't do a good job, in my opinion. Matches isolated were great, because us as fans, we know we've only got a few Cena dates left, and we're going to give him all the love he deserves. And we're going to see those rematches from rivalries of past. We're going to see new matches against Dom and the likes. But the stuff stitching these matches together was piss poor.
Like, again, I would say, like, if you think back, one of the biggest storylines, we could talk, we've spent hours with reviews and stuff of around 2001. If the Attitude Era peaked and ended at WrestleMania 21, they then tried to do the whole WCW invasion, and it was like year plus of TV, and it was kind of a fumble. And maybe that's where a lot of people dropped off of wrestling around that time. And I think when you had WrestleMania 40 and the build of the final boss and all that stuff, you had so many people coming back into wrestling. Like, it just felt like this is why it's so popular this year, is because of the last year. But then as soon as it got this popular, the creative was just all over the place. So like I said, like when you look back at John Cena's last retirement tour, this last time is now, there was some really good stuff. But when you look back in that WrestleMania, like John Cena beat Ric Flair's world title number 7, never seen 17, because Travis Scott. And then where did that lead? To Travis Scott no showing, to whatever the hell they didn't give us.
Logan Paul basically telling us Travis Scott realized this hurts and it's a lot of work.
So he no showed them and they had to pivot. But like how we got there in the first place, they don't forget how fucking piss poor that WrestleMania, like worst WrestleMania main event, one of them ever. Like it really bad. And I can look over that because then I got AJ Cena. Then I got, this Gunther Cena match, and it was good. And by the end of it, sure, it was a lot of fun. I just do think like this is the guy you keep saying is the GOAT, but I don't know why was the Sting retirement tour was way better. They protected Sting the whole tour, the final match. I don't know. It just felt this felt a little phony, a little like, here you go. Now get lost. You're still a Legends deal. You can still come back and show up at WrestleManias and stuff. I don't ever see him actually wrestling again. I think he will. I know it's wrestling, the Terry Funk rule forever, but like I don't see Cena ever wrestling again. So we'll see him, I'm sure. But I'll say, like, if you look at the whole Last Time Is Now tour, there was some good stuff. But there was a lot of bad stuff, too, that I'm sure people, like myself, I'm still mad at you, Travis Scott. A, for Fiend, because, like, I'll still hear that song and get PTSD, like, flashbacks. I'm like, oh, Fiend, fuck. But this year was weird in WWE. Yeah, they made a lot of money, and they'll tell you how much money they gouged from you. But I liked this show, Saturday Night.
I did. I really enjoyed this show, and I think they should revisit this NXT, like, do this NXT v WWE once a year or like every so often, because I thought it felt really refreshing. Now, I'm saying this as someone who watches NXT regularly. We have a little show. You might have heard of it up next on the Post Wrestling Network every Tuesday. I'd like to hear from people that don't watch NXT at all to see if they had the same enjoyment of the show as I did, or whether they were like, oh, where were the stars? You know, I feel like most people, this crowd were really positive with those matches, and I feel most people would have probably enjoyed it. But I enjoyed it. Thumbs up from me. Yeah,
no, like one of the best WWE shows I've watched in a long time, where I was like, oh, this is special because of John Cena, but also we watch NXT, so it's like, oh, this is cool that I got to see these other people. But I wish we got longer matches from the stuff we did get, but ultimately Gunther Cena did deliver for me. And whether or not you agree with the outcome, I think we'll hopefully all warm up to liking the idea. I think I already have. In the moment, it was great to all be like, what? But then we can laugh about it and smile.
I mean, it's just fun seeing Triple H being booed.
So then, we didn't talk about what happened after. So we have bullshit chants as Cena's there. He gave up, everyone, so it's sad. And then we have the superstars come out. We have the two world champions, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, give John Cena their titles, just like Cena has done to Hulk Hogan in the past.
Yeah, Cena and Batista, right? Both gave the titles. Cena really didn't want to hold these, I feel. He
didn't want to do the four corners. He didn't want to do that shit.
Especially since we just saw his thing with Mark Henry, where he's like, you hold that, you got to earn that.
So he's holding these up, and then Triple H gets up on the apron, and the sea of boos here from DC. I'm shocked DC didn't like Triple H. I thought he'd be their boy, but they start chanting.
Oh no, the orange fella might live there, but they are not
they don't like him.
They do not
Triple
wear
H
those red hats.
Getting booed here heavily. CM Punk, you could see him just laughing when this was happening. You hear "you fucked up" chants as he gets in the ring. Cena's like, "Oh, it's a rowdy crowd" or something like that, and then they're chanting "you fucked up" as then Cena does not give a speech. Instead, they play yet another tribute video. How many tribute videos were there for this guy? But you see the camera on Cena as it plays a great video showing all the highlights, including a video from Vince McMahon from a few years ago. Nothing new here, but you could see Cena start to cry a little bit when it showed his best pal Vince on that video. But Cena then leaves the ring, does one last salute, and says, "It's been a pleasure entertaining you all," as he walks off, and we've seen enough. You cannot see him anymore in the WWE.
He left his sneakers and his wristbands
right on the Riyadh season
Minute Maid orange juice.
He didn't leave the jorts, but one guy you could hear in the crowd being like, leave the jorts. He walks off and it's all over. He gave up. If you watched any of the post presser where Triple H joined him at that desk,
I checked that out earlier.
And oh my God, they're chanting "you fucked up." They're chanting "we want Vince." They're chanting AEW. Oh my God, I think that was a little bit much, guys. That was. It's one thing to be upset with this. They're all flipping him off, and Triple H is like, "Oh, big Bloodline fans over here. And I think it's Joe or Cole or whoever, Rosenberg is like, yeah, I don't know if that's the same finger as the bloodline, but they were chanting all sorts of things. And Triple H then I don't think I've ever seen this. At least when WrestleMania flopped with Travis Scott and the lack thereof of The Rock, it was the next day when The Rock went on Pat McAfee to be like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Sorry. Triple H didn't even wait till the next day. Triple H right away says, I will do what I believe is right for business. And that's what I did. And then breaks kayfabe and just explains why Cena had to lose. And as he's getting booed here, it was so funny.
Saying time-honored tradition and all that.
These people were booing his ass out of DC. It was a sight to see. So I guess people were mad being at this show. So have you seen the Jeff Jarrett tweet? I mean, everyone's having their 2 cents about this. Right, of course.
Jeff Jarrett's tweet did make me laugh. He says, love watching movies when the superhero gets destroyed in the final scene and then dies. Even better is when my favorite sports team not only gets beat, but gives up with a smile on their face. Makes me feel good about spending time, money on the night. Creative is subjective.
Yeah, I guess people feel that way. Like, Superman, I don't know. Empire Strikes Back is the best.
But that's the middle.
Yeah.
That's
Cena's not coming back
off the retirement run, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Triple H's face when he was in the ring and they're booing him and he laughs. He's like, I got your money, bitches.
It's the face as well of when CM Punk called him out on shit, like way back when during like Pope Bomb era. And Triple H just has that smile where you can tell he's just seething inside. Where
you could tell he was
smug smile.
He's like, trying to, when he's like, oh, they're allowed to say whatever they want. They're allowed to boo, and it's like they're chanting.
Yeah, they pay thousands of dollars. They can do what they want.
But you could tell like that his whenever he's projecting that it doesn't bother him, but that just tells me that shit like that.
He looks bothered.
Yeah, he looked really bothered by that. So I don't know, maybe just come up with better creative. In 2026 and not fuck up like that. But I mean, look, it was a success for WWE. I can't even imagine, take out this show alone of how much money they got paid to be there and all that. Just the last year of John Cena fucking t-shirts. Like how many millions of dollars on socks or garden gnomes or whatever the fuck John Cena merch they sell. Like they must have sold and more. Like you give that this next 2 weeks, because of this, like so many people are going to be buying these things, these shirts and everything. So yeah, I mean, to them it's a success because it's like dollar bills, y'all. But insane, incredible. So yeah, Triple H just saving face, being like, I had to do what I had to do. Fuck you, and you're gonna pay us even more money to watch the next show and the next one. So
okay, like final decision, right move or wrong move? Where are you standing on it today? And you can change your mind at the end of the year show for sure.
I feel like you said, like, you don't even know what would be the right thing. Like in the moment you were like, just give it to Cena. But this is a movie that continues. This is a story. This is a character being written off your favorite TV show. The TV show doesn't end tomorrow.
It's World Wrestling Entertainment. It's not John Cena.
It's not the John Cena show. It's WWE. So I think I am more in the camp of like, this is the right move.
I think so too. And I think it rehabs Gunther a little bit. Like, not that Gunther hasn't been protected, but there's, he tapped out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, and I think that did hurt him. And that isn't a chant I think should be following Gunther around. And I'm hoping this kind of alleviates that a little bit. So yeah, I'm leaning towards it being the right move, I think.
The people in DC,
but I also might change my mind tomorrow. I don't.
Yeah, and be like, "Fuck that! Superman should have won at the end of the movie." But the show goes on. The show, they got to do a show tomorrow, and John Cena's not going to be there. The Royal Rumble, John Cena's not going to be there. WrestleMania, they got to come up. They have a hard task this WrestleMania season. Triple H, you better have that little green book with some good ideas, because the plays you need to, like, the rebound now has to be good. They're lucky. Royal Rumble, good time for everyone to be invested into that show. It sells itself, but hopefully we have some good stories coming into WrestleMania season, because this was like a self-contained thing.
Yeah.
It felt like, you said, like all the matches, this tournament, everything felt exhibition just to get up to this has to end. Cena's gone. Now WrestleMania season. So
I think there are some exciting things. Creative certainly needs to be better. Like it's floundered this year, but there are still some bright sparks in WWE. I think Bron Breakker's been fantastic, and I think he's been elevating himself, and I think he will, whether he wins it on that January 5th show or not, he will be champion by WrestleMania.
Yes,
I think. I think Femi is someone, as soon as they call him up, he's going to be a big deal. And I'd love them to give him the original Brock push, like bypass the Intercontinental title and all that, and just win one of these world titles, be dominant. And then, like, man, SmackDown, Ilya versus Ciampa was fantastic.
Oh, I have to check it out.
This week of just TV wrestling was great. We'll get into AEW in a bit, but we had that incredible Kyle Fletcher, Speedball Mike Bayley match, which we'll get into. But man, Ilya and Ciampa fucking killed it on Friday, and it was so refreshing, because SmackDown has been poor, has been really poor this year, and that was a real bright spot. So I think there's all these things. It's not a matter of talent in WWE. They've got so much talent, and now you've elevated Gunther into this super heel status where he should be continuing that through WrestleMania. And whether he is Brock's last opponent, like it's now, I'm reading things that I forgot that SummerSlam is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that
it's probably his last match.
That makes a whole lot of sense for Brock's last match to be that. Now, whether that is Gunther or Bron Breakker or Femi, I think it should be one of those three. That's a big deal. And all of them, yes, there's a lot of stink around Brock Lesnar for a lot of fans, and I completely get it. But if you are doing this last run, it's those three guys that you pick one of them to be going over Brock Lesnar.
I'd go Bron Breakker or Femi as one of the. I mean, Gunther, if you do continue the Legend Killer thing, like that wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea. And people do want to see that match before we can't. So, yeah, like the next few, how many of these are we going to get? Like Randy Orton's last tour, AJ Styles' last tour. Like like
Jericho.
We're all, like we're going to be seeing a lot more of these as we get older, of like people we've grown up.
You're going to have Triple H and Nick Khan being like, actually, AJ, you can't retire this year because Brock's retiring this year. You could retire next year.
Yeah.
And Jericho, you could retire the year after that.
Yeah.
And then Randy, you can. And then Roman.
Go on to Cody. Go on to Hollywood.
I believe Cody's still just staring at John Cena's shoes.
Stinky old shoes.
Yeah.
They weren't even the pump-ups. You know?
Yeah.
I had those pump-ups back in the day. The John Cena. We've talked about John Cena so much. If you haven't checked out the Champ is Here podcast series, again, we have uploaded some free ones. Please do check it out. We feel like the biggest John Cena fans. We've spent hours talking about his moments, matches. John Cena. I was trying to dig out. I did find my Down Since Day One, Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. But I can't find my favorite one is the Rise Above Hate. I do have it somewhere. I got to find it. But I've never gotten a photo with John Cena, but I have said this on one of our shows, and I'll say it quickly just as we put a bow on the John Cena retirement tour. I said this on a show before, but briefly, I went to a house show in Barrie, Ontario for a Raw house show on a Friday night. And I went with my friend Shane. Shout out Shane. He's our friend in a wheelchair. He's got no fucking legs and one hand. He got the John Cena shirt. He wore it to the house show. We parked the car. And as we get out to the venue before the show, hundreds of kids outside where the wrestlers are going in and out are trying to meet all the wrestlers. And John Cena's like, his bus that he drives in, or used to, I guess. It pulls up to this venue. He gets out. He walks right past me and my friend Shane, who again is in a wheelchair, wearing the red Cena shirt, walks right past us and goes into the venue. And my friend Shane was like, oh man, like I thought John Cena was supposed to be like this good guy. And I was like, whatever. He's busy, whatever. we go into the show. We're like second row for this house show. I think it was Alberto versus Cena as the main event. And as soon as it ends, Cena says, "Hey, thanks for coming, everyone." Rolls out of the ring, walks right up to us, and gives me a handshake and gives my friend Shane a hug and takes off his armbands and gives it to Shane and says, "I'm so sorry I couldn't say hi to you earlier. There was just way too many kids, but thank you for coming out, guys," and gave us a hug. And I was like, what in the So the gimmick is real. And then we went to another show about a year or so later, and he remembered us. And he came up to us again and gave Shane another thing and said, "You told me last time that you were going to use this wristband for your Paralympic training. So here's another one for the other side." And we were blown away. So the gimmick is real.
Yeah.
The Make-A-Wish stuff, like this guy is a legit action figure superhero walking among us. So I'll always remember that of like, wow, this guy is a real nice dude. Solid. So the Peacemaker. But then I just remembered he fucking gave up.
Yeah.
He gave up. He gave up. What do we do with my life? How many like girlfriends or wives yesterday night or tonight or today are like, "Honey, what's wrong?" What's wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong. He fucking gave up. I don't know what to do. Conflicted. But anyways, welcome to our TED Talk about John Cena. Thank you. Pour one out. Thank you, John. Thank you, Cena.
Shall we move on to... Is JJ Abrams directing your camera right now?
Lens flares here. Just trying to fix that. Yeah, I mean, that was the big show, right? Of like...
Yeah.
Of the week, obviously, with John Cena retiring, but there was a lot of other wrestling.
Oh yeah,
this week. I can't say enough things about that match from Wednesday night. Kyle Fletcher and Speedball Mike Bayley, the Continental Classic, like that. I can't stop thinking. I think I just need to watch it again. I think I need to just watch it again. We watched it. We had our friend Boris over. Graham was over. Well, Graham lives there, but we all hung out and watched that on Wednesday. And it literally blew our minds. Like, I think that is one of the best AEW TV, let alone just matches of the year, but like one of the best matches ever, and an absolute coming out party for Speedball Mike Bayley, who we love here. Go Canada. But what a match that was.
Oh, I thought they did such a great job on so many different levels. Like, obviously, these two, Kyle Fletcher has just evolved, hasn't he? In the last year or two, he's just evolved into like, and such an incredible wrestler with such a great presence. And he's, one of the front runners to win this whole thing. And I see him as a future world champion. Mike Bayley is awesome. We've been watching him for years. I don't necessarily see him as a future world champion. And I think you look on paper and you probably think it's going to be a fun match with Kyle Fletcher going over. The action, obviously, was incredible. But then they started playing with the time limit, the 20-minute time limit, when you're hearing 5 minutes remaining and all that. And it's from that point, it's all Speedball. Speedball's dominating. And we're going, they're gonna do the count out, the timeout finish, the draw. And therefore, you're kind of protecting both. It's sort of a win for Speedball because you don't expect him to win anyway. It's like in soccer where you have your leaders of the table against the bottom of the league. That bottom of the league team is happy to get that 1 point, happy to get that draw. And I think we're all going, right, we're getting the count out. And then you have the miss moonsault into the knees on the floor. And Fletcher just dominates, rolls him into the ring, does that running gammon Geary in the corner, the brain buster, and you're like, damn it. They gave Mike Bayley all this shine, and then Kyle Fletcher's going to win. And that kick out was one of the best kick outs of the year. That was awesome. And then after that, you're going, all right, the bell's got to ring now. 1 minute remaining. The bell's got to ring now. And then Speedball does it and was not expecting it at all. Like, there's this moment before the match even starts, and we had a bunch of us watching this, where, they stare at each other, they walk around a bit before locking up, and there's this like breath before it starts. And we go, oh, they know they're about to put on something fucking special.
Yeah.
Because it's like this breath before, let's go, let's do it. And boy, did they. Like, we were jumping off our seats and screaming at these near falls. It was perfection.
For anyone who's
good.
watched wrestling with me, as our friend John Pollock sometimes is like, man, watching wrestling with you sometimes you're loud, because I get it. I get into it, especially if we've had a few twisted teas and a few joints. I'm like, I can get into it. I was screaming watching this match because I was like, this is some the knees, the Poisonranas, best move in wrestling, obviously. Like, just Chris Jones in the chat says, this is my match of the year, the only match that I've watched twice. That's how I know. That's usually my thing. If I can't, if I finished watching a wrestling match and right away I'm like, oh God. You know, when you were a kid, or anyone who has kids, I know dads and parents out there will understand, where your kid is like, oh, I want to watch that Paw Patrol, and then they watch it, and then they go, I want to watch it again and again, and parents are like, fuck, how many times is my kid? That's how I feel when the match blows my mind like this. I just want to watch it again, to like rewatch, to see what did I miss out of this? What else was there in this? It's incredible that Fletcher has had a hell of a last year, 2 years. Speedball coming in again. We have watched this guy on the independents. He was stuck here in Canada for a while, so we got a lot of him, and he is just an incredible talent. And you say, like, okay, Speedball might not ever be AEW world champion, but I could totally see him being a TNT champion, a tag team champion, like multiple times. But now we know they got this little, like, this karate kid who's going to come in and just put on some bangers once in a while. And I think it was just so much fun. I've watched Collision. I've watched Knight versus Bayley as well. Awesome matches as well, but like, I still
didn't hit on the same level.
It didn't get to like how we got, but I kept
I'll let Bayley off because
he got beat up. I wonder if I can't confirm, but according to social media, I wonder if Kevin Knight ended up taking Speedball. They were in Georgia, Atlanta. Did they end up going to Magic City, the strip club, the famous strip club in Atlanta? Kevin Knight said, sorry, no phones allowed in the club. All I picture is if Speedball's at a strip club, does he use his feet to make it rain?
Yeah. Just bowing to everyone.
Anyway, Speedball, all the flowers to you. That was an incredible match, and I'm probably going to watch it again today just because. This
match proves as well, you don't need to go 40 plus minutes for a match to be
20 minutes, great. Bang on.
And I think, I feel we've kind of gone out of that habit now, but there was a period of time, like, I'd say like 2018, 2019 onwards, where everyone was like, all right, this is the main event. We got to go 45 minutes. We got to push an hour because then it's epic. And it was just like, it felt so forced. And I think this proves you really don't. Like, the length of time doesn't matter if the content's good. And 20 minutes, this reminded me in a way, and different style match, but it reminded me of that Kenny Ishii G1 match. That's just like an incredible ride for 20 minutes. And
still an underrated match, by the way. I love on social media and the internet wrestling community when people come across that match, because like a GIF or something will be posted from it, and people are like, whoa, what is this match? And they have fought a few times, but the Kenny Ishii G1 match,
it's like 2018, I think 2018, 2019, around
always
there.
Love to shout out that match. But I'm loving this the fucking Continental Classic.
This has been my favorite iteration of the tournament so far.
I don't know if we're gonna get a better match than that one. That was.
Did you catch while we're on the tournament? Did you catch Claudio versus Takeshita?
Yes. Oh man. Okay. IWGP World Champion versus the CMLL World Champion. First time ever. How crazy. Love this. Only this was where this was the problem. I didn't want this to end, and then it did, and I was like, no, wait, can I just get like 20 more minutes? Can you literally?
I think with the politics, I kind of saw a draw coming from this, but
yeah.
Man, was this a good match?
I was expecting Drew McIntyre
like swing and manhandle Takeshita, who was huge, and vice versa. You know that the like, what is it? The pile driver into the wheelbarrow German, this was incredible.
Like Cody getting booked versus Oba, you knew you were going to get like a weird finish, and you kind of knew the same thing here, where it's like, okay, well, champion and champion shouldn't necessarily, but oh man, Takeshita is incredible, and then Claudio too, finally getting some good matches. But my only issue was like, can you literally fight forever? Because I'd watch you two. They should rematch that after in 2026, because Takeshita doesn't miss. Claudio has been a lot of fun. We'll see what happens with the Death Riders. But yeah, this has been already my favorite version of this tournament.
It's elevated certain people, like Bayley, of course, but also to an extent Claudio, who we know is a great wrestler, but I think we all moved past the point where we thought he could be a world champion. And then I think we just got a little, or I'm speaking for myself, but it feels like a lot of people just got a little tired of seeing him on our TV. And then he had this match. He had the Moxie match. He had the Orange match. And you go, man, no, this guy is really fucking good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Claudio's someone, he's got like that mid-card stink, if that makes sense. I'm not knocking him because we fucking love him because he's Claudio. Who doesn't love Claudio? But I don't know if he'll ever be a world champion. He could, if this, like, maybe he is the guy to take over Mox's spot in the group. I think it should be him as the leader over Garcia or Pac, but yeah, we'll see. I am also okay with him always being this guy who is in the mid card but puts on bangers and stuff. But yeah, what do we have coming up with this Continental Classic? Because they've announced some other stuff, but like,
so what we've got is it Holiday Bash on
Wednesday
in
at Manchester,
which has sold really well.
I mean,
that's going to be a rabid crowd.
They sold really well, and then they go, hey, break glass, the Elite reunite, and they're going to wrestle in a 6-man tag. And then more tickets were sold pretty quickly after that announcement. So like, if you're going to this in Manchester, please let us know live experience and stuff. And please have a fucking awesome time. That show is going to be so great. I mean, like, you got the crowd will be regardless into it, but now you're having Kenny teaming with the Bucks again, what is that? Okada, Takeshita, and Hechicero?
Yes.
What the?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna be watching that one because that sounds nutty. But
this
card looks good.
Mascara Dorada versus Orange Cassidy, which sounds like that could be awesome. John Moxley, Roderick Strong, Kyle Fletcher versus Pac, and then we have
that's all on Wednesday night.
That's all Wednesday. Or are they taping Collision as well? I'm not. No, I
forget.
That's Wednesday. And then Willow, Hardy, Tony, and Mina taking on Mercedes, Athena, Marina, and Megan Bain in an 8-woman tag.
That's crazy. Oh, it's a 3-hour special on Wednesday.
That's right.
Why. Okay.
Yes, it's Dynamite and Collision like combined.
Yeah. Wow. Holy shit. That's a stacked card, to be honest. Like, and then FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang. As well. But wow, that's a crazy looking card on Wednesday night. Definitely looking forward to that. But Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe is pretty fun as well. You know, I don't think I necessarily had a lot of steam going into it. Something about Eddie's return has kind of been iffy for me, but this actually was a lot more fun than I thought it was. It was what it should have been. Like Eddie getting some hope spots, Samoa Joe shouting out John Cena. That was pretty cool. John Cena then sharing that on his Instagram the next day was pretty funny. But I liked Wednesday's Winter Is Coming, and I mean, obviously the highlight being the Speedball Fletcher match, but as a whole, I really thought that was a solid episode of Dynamite.
Where do you think they're going for World's End with the world title? Because Hangman made it clear on Dynamite that he wants that world championship, and Swerve saying the same thing on Collision. We've had that 3-way before. Is that something you think they revisit?
They've announced it.
It is a 3. Oh, they've announced the 3-way?
Yeah. Triple threat at World's End. Samoa Joe, Swerve, and the Hangman. The triple threat again. We saw that at the Sting retirement show. It was a good match, but it wasn't necessarily like...
Yeah. I mean, it's different dynamics now with, Hangman and Swerve being baby faces. And do you potentially see MJF inserting himself in that match?
Yeah, I'm wondering. We have the ring,
diamond ring,
right? The diamond ring. So that obviously kind of tips off that maybe MJF comes back to regain that. I forget what the rules is. Does the winner face MJF for it?
They've kind of changed it every year, haven't they? Because they had MJF in the match defending it a few times, but then it's but now I think it's the final 2 of the Battle Royal have a match, and the winner of that faces MJF. I think. Right. I might be wrong. And so
I don't know how, but I keep thinking ahead. Like Wembley MJF should be going in as champion, and Ospreay, hopefully, knock on wood, returns to be the challenger, and the main event is MJF as champ versus Ospreay. That's probably what I would book, but I don't know if we get that. But somehow we do get to that. I think
I've said this before. I'd have Fletcher as champ with Ospreay chasing, but I do think you need to flip-flop the title maybe a few too many times to get there. Yeah. MJF makes a lot of sense for Ospreay to be chasing. However, we have had that match at Wembley before.
Yeah, it was good, but like maybe I don't know what
they've
what
had
else?
Great matches, but whether like you want to do that a second time.
Where do you think? What do you think else? If not that as the main event, like what's the end game of this? All
I mean, it really depends. Ospreay's status. Yeah. Ospreay's status. We can't guarantee that he'll be there. Whether if talking retirements and stuff, like, is it something you could push for Kenny? Like one last big singles match for Kenny, going for the title? Could you do Swerve Hangman for the title? But now obviously the dynamics are different. I think it's too far away right now to really see, and especially with injuries and things.
I mean, if they were to do a Kenny Omega retirement tour, I'm going to whatever show that would be. And I hope that isn't in 2026. Keep him in the 6-man tags for as long as he wants, baby. Let him wear that t-shirt. It's Naito it up, sting it up. I don't want him to retire. My heart and soul of love of wrestling will be altered that day when that man retires. But I'm looking forward to, like, this Dynamite was really solid. This Continental Classic is really good. Like, the next pay-per-view is World's End, which is, I don't like the timing of this show. Like, okay, because I have a family Christmas dinner that night. So I'm like, for fuck's sake, Tony Khan, man, don't you have holiday stuff to do? Yeah. Don't these people that want to see their families? Why did you book this pay-per-view on December 27th? Like Boxing Day is on the 26th, and then we got Wrestling Day, I guess is why he did this. But am I alone on that? Maybe people are home for the holidays, they get together and watch wrestling, but my family ain't really.
Hey, it's nice if you live there. Yeah. If you live there and you've done Christmas and that's a Christmas present to go to. Sure.
Yeah. So far we have for that, the triple threat is announced, and then Statlander versus Jamie Hayter, I think, is the match. Yes. So that's 2 matches so far that look pretty good. And then, of course, the Continental Classic matches and stuff that lead to that. But yeah, and then there's a break for like a few months without a pay-per-view, which I find is weird.
Until March, yeah.
Yeah, like that's a ways away without having a pay-per-view in between there. But
yeah, I guess we'll have some TV specials.
Yeah, something like that down the line. But really loved what they're doing. Looking forward to this week's episode in Manchester. That crowd's going to be crazy, especially with those matches. What else is going on? I did reference the Tokyo Dome. 50,000 tickets sold plus for Tanahashi's retirement. I think that is awesome. We have some friends going there. Shout out our friend Steve, who was talking to me last night at the bar after. He bought his ticket way before they even announced all this stuff. So he's like super excited to go to all this. And I saw there's like tons of other wrestling events going on that week now, like Corcoran Hall. There's all a bunch of independent stuff. And I think there's even like some Japanese wrestling podcast meetups, kind of similar how we do. I saw people were doing like at the big hub in Tokyo Dome City. There's a meetup earlier that day and stuff. So if you are going, again, would love feedback, but super jelly. I definitely need to go to another Wrestle Kingdom, but I think that's awesome. 50,000 people, like Tanahashi Okada one last time, fucking right. So can't wait for that. That's like less than a month away. So very excited to see that. But anything else in the world of wrestling? I think that's about it.
I think that's about it for this week. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other stuff. It's been a busy one with John Cena giving up and everything. So, yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah. Appreciate everyone out there listening. Hit that subscribe. Hit that follow. We're on Facebook. There's a Facebook page, a Facebook group. We have an Instagram. Go check it out. Help us get to 1,000 followers since losing our original Instagram. Help us. I posted a weird video of DDT set to Creed, and somehow that's got us more followers than us saying give us a follow. So go to Instagram if you use it and give us a follow.
And like and subscribe our YouTube as well. That helps our algorithm. We see you in the room, Chris, Lynette, Reggie, etc. Thank you very much.
Grape Ape says, watching and taking a dab for Braden. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I'll take one for you too. Dab on them. Dab on them hoes. Appreciate everyone out there. You want to hear more, including the Champ is Here podcast series. There's tons of free ones on our free feed, but you get all the episodes plus all of our retro wrestling reviews, movie reviews, and so much more. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. Buy yourself a gift, a month of podcasts, and it goes to us, two fun guys who just podcast about wrestling. And hang out with us next Sunday, 3 p.m. right here on our YouTube, the Christmas party. We're going to have the eggnog flowing, the wham blasting. It's going to be all the fun time, and someone will walk out as BDE champion. And it could be Frank, or it could be you. So tune in next week. Very excited. That is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And give up.
Ahoy!